My wife's friend told her, test if you're really his priority by making him choose between you and the things he loves, then give him an ultimatum. So when my wife delivered her final ultimatum, I chose my self-respect and filed for divorce the next morning. I was in the garage working on my car when I heard voices through the open window. The conversation was supposed to be private, but sound carries better than people think. Men need to prove you're their priority, her friend Rachel was saying. Rachel's engagement had fallen apart 3 months earlier when her fiancé chose a job transfer over her. You create situations where he has to choose. You versus his hobbies. You versus his friends. You versus his family. Then you give him one final test. I stopped what I was doing, staying perfectly still. What if he passes? My wife asked. Nobody passes all of them. That's the point. When he fails, you give the ultimatum. Make him prove you matter most. A real man will sacrifice anything for his wife. The friend laid out the strategy. Small tests building to a big one. Make each choice more difficult. Watch for resentment. Then, deliver the final ultimatum when he's worn down. My wife of 7 years was about to test whether I'd sacrifice everything to prove I loved her, based on advice from someone whose relationship crumbled because she demanded the same. The next 2 weeks felt like a social experiment. Tuesday, she scheduled dinner with her sister during my basketball league finals. You can miss one game, right? Family should come first. I went to dinner. Didn't complain. Thursday, she suggested I sell my car. We don't really need 2 cars, and the money would help with the bathroom renovation. If you loved me more than that old thing, you'd do it. I said I'd think about it. The following Monday, she booked a weekend trip during my best friend's wedding. We never go anywhere. If I'm really important, you'll choose us time. I told her I'd already committed to being in the wedding party, but we could plan a trip the next weekend. Her face showed disappointment. The test was working as designed. Wednesday, she went bigger. Your brother calls too much. It's like you're more married to your family than to me. Real partners establish boundaries. I kept my response measured. He calls once a week. That's normal. Each test was documented somewhere, I was sure. Each response measured against her friend's rubric. Friday night, she delivered the finale while I was reading. I need to talk to you about something serious. I closed my book and waited. I've been feeling like I'm not your priority. Your hobbies, your friends, your family, they all seem to matter more than me. So I need you to show me I matter. How would you like me to do that? Sell the car, skip the wedding, tell your brother to only call once a month, and cancel your basketball league next season. She paused. If you love me, you'll do these things. I sat there for a long moment, letting the weight of what she'd asked settle between us. Is this coming from you? Or from Rachel? The color shift in her face told me everything. I heard your conversation 2 weeks ago. Through the garage window. She opened her mouth, then closed it. I've watched you run your tests. I went to dinner with your sister. I considered selling my car. I tried to compromise on the wedding. I stayed calm when you attacked my family. I wasn't attacking. You were testing. Your friend convinced you to test whether I'd sacrifice my entire identity to prove I love you. Her eyes went to the floor. Here's the thing about ultimatums. When someone forces you to choose between them and everything else, you're actually choosing between them and yourself, and I choose me. What does that mean? It means I'm not selling my car. I'm standing up in my best friend's wedding. I'm keeping my relationship with my brother, and I'm not proving my love by erasing my life. So you're saying I'm not your priority. I'm saying a partner who loves you doesn't make you destroy yourself to prove you love them back. She stood up. So that's it? You're choosing your stuff over me? No, you're choosing a test over our marriage. There's a difference. Saturday morning, I called a divorce attorney. Filed the paperwork Monday. She got served Tuesday afternoon while having coffee with Rachel. When she came home, the papers were shaking in her hands. You actually filed for divorce. You gave me an ultimatum. I gave you my answer. I didn't think you'd actually leave. That's because you thought you had all the power, that I'd sacrifice everything because I had more to lose. She sat down, stunned. We can work through this. You tested me like I was a stranger instead of talking to me like I was your husband. What's there to work through? I just wanted to feel important. You were important. Past tense. The moment you decided to manipulate me instead of communicate with me. 3 weeks later, she called asking to talk. I didn't answer. The divorce was final, 4 months after I filed.